Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into TK Wrestling. We're here for our Saturday night main event predictions show. Yeah, we've been on a little bit of a hiatus.
The summer got really busy with work and everything that we've been doing. Like we said, we do this when we can, and just left and right. Like I said,
we're going to a gig this weekend.
This weekend we got a gig, so there's always we're doing things, just trying to find a time, but we're getting more steady again. Like I said, finding a way. Like I said, but yesterday, like I said, did 2 interviews yesterday with the new McNeese basketball coaches. So that was a lot of fun. Thanks to McNeese Athletics for the ease of doing that. I got a little shout out from Mr. Bonnet over there. He apparently
saw something.
He saw something and about this. So he's curious. So we'll have to get his takes. He thinks Roman Reigns coming back Saturday night main event. So I'll go ahead and throw that out there. Bonnet told me he thinks Roman Reigns.
Hey, so next time I see Bonnet, is he a Roman Reigns fan? Do you know?
We didn't go that far. I was talking about how I liked what Seth was doing. He's like, I think
he's
Roman's
just Bonnet's just a smart guy, dude. He's just a smart guy.
I asked him, you think he's coming back before SummerSlam? And he said, he thinks he's coming back. So we'll see. We'll see what's up, because I'll admit right now, as we're about to point out, there's only 3 matches right now. I mean, we're recording this before Friday Night SmackDown, so something could inevitably leak out of SmackDown, which it probably will. Because, look, there's no Cena in this. There's no Cody. There's no Jay, I mean, there's no Sammy, I mean, there's a whole bunch of people missing, but it's interesting is we're getting Drew McIntyre back, which is going to be great. But just it's 3 matches. Like I can see 4, but 3, and one of them's Gunther Goldberg. How long's that match going to go?
Maybe 10 minutes. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, we've seen the last few big events. Random matches have been thrown in at the last minute. Dom got thrown in for Money in the Bank, was it? And Zelina and Chelsea Green got thrown in last minute for Saturday night's main event, the last one I think it was. So yeah, we could probably see something extra thrown in here, and I think we probably will. You have to excuse me, as Matt saw before we started recording. I'm nursing a little bit of a cough, and it's kicking my ass, man. But Matt just says I should just go take a shot of some whiskey, and
I'm telling you, man, whiskey cures everything. It cures everything. You don't got to be an alcoholic, but you do. It used to be. It's I think how they used to be back in the day. Be on the cow trail, you eating your beans, drink a little whiskey, staying healthy. So get your beans and whiskey, clear out your system.
Well, hey, look, I wanted to say 2 things, totally off topic of wrestling. This is just before we jump into everything. My wife and I just finished the remake, or whatever you want to call it, the new version of Sabrina the Teenage Witch show. Okay. I don't know if you've seen that on Netflix.
I mean, I heard it was a little creepy or something. It was more of a... more leaned into the horror element or something?
Yeah, much more into the horror and like mythology and like theology of certain things and all that kind of stuff. But just wanted to say, aside from all that, the ending sucked. We hated it. It was terrible. I wasn't a fan.
Do not watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch to the end.
You can almost watch, there's 4, they call them parts and then episodes, but they're broken up into seasons. I would say you could almost watch the first 3 seasons parts and be kind of satisfied with the show overall, because sure, you may not get a definitive ending to the show at the end of season 3, but I think season 4 was just not great, man.
Some of those shows just they go on too long. Are you a Supernatural fan? Right? Am I making that up?
Yeah. No, we've talked about
Supernatural. Yeah, like I said, Supernatural is a show that's only supposed to run like 5 seasons, and it ended up running 15. Or something,
I will say my problem with this was it needed 1 more season, I think.
Okay. It didn't have enough. All right.
Yeah. And from what I read, there was a 5th and final season penciled in, but it got canceled. It didn't get renewed.
Or they made a comic book out of it. That's what they do. If they don't get it, they tend to make comic books. Like Buffy's got a whole extra season in comics or whatever.
I will have to go look that up, because
I think Smallville kept going in comics, which it didn't need to.
Because look, at the end of the day, the show is like all those things. It is kind of creepy. It's kind of, what makes the bump in the night or whatever. It is a lot of that. But at the end of the day, it is also set in like high school settings. So there is going to be some cringe elements that we're going whatever. But yeah, I really just felt like where it left and I'm trying to word it properly. there was like a lack of a conclusion for a lot of the characters, I felt. And it just felt like there was one more season of like story that we needed to tell to get to like the conclusion for everyone. I felt like some people reached their conclusions, I guess. They weren't very good, I don't think, but you know, whatever. We weren't a huge fan of the ending. The show overall, sure, it is what it is. Like once you get into it and watch a few episodes, you'll kind of know what the show's all about. But the ending sucked. Thumbs down for me. I just gotta say. And then secondly, I got my hands on something that a lot of nerdy people like me will like. You're not so much into the Pokemon stuff, but
right. But you got some Pokemon stuff.
We had a family member cleaning out a house and they were going through their stuff and they said, "Hey, I know you like Pokemon. Do you want this?" And it was something that I had in my, I wanted in my childhood that I never got. This is from 1997, I think, from Parker Brothers, but it's the original Pokemon Monopoly.
Oh, hey, there we go.
Yeah. With everything's still in it. It's not sealed or anything, but all the pieces, all the money, all the cards. I'm trying to find an actual year on it that it came out. Let me see, 1999.
Well, still, I mean, that's a good way to play Monopoly. You know, I mean, it's probably a lot more fun. Like I always wanted to get one of those like specialty versions of Monopoly when they started doing them. I mean, growing up, I mean, I don't know. For me, all we had was the basic straight up Monopoly.
Right.
So I always wanted to get like the Star Wars version or the Simpsons version or something. But by that point, there wasn't much Monopoly to be had anymore. Like, all my Monopoly days had basically,
right.
But you've got a bunch of Monopoly days coming up with Spence. So that's,
I do.
That works out. That works out really nicely.
Do you know they have certain cities Monopoly versions now? So like Lake Charles has a Lake Charlesopoly.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It like went from being like not friend, and now it's like Lego. Like you can get Lego anything, And so like once Monopoly has decided to start branding partnership, they're like you said, they're everywhere. They're at colleges. I think like there's like a University of Tennessee Monopoly even,
Oh, so probably so.
Yeah, so it's like like places at the college, like the football stadium, or probably the Strip or something, or some famous restaurant there.
I wonder what McNeese's would be like. I'd be very curious to kind of curate that and put it together. I guess my big question. My big question for you, Matt, is if you had push came to shove for McNeese and you had to pick what went on the boardwalk spot.
Right, what's boardwalk?
Yeah, what's boardwalk?
I mean, boardwalk for us is the Legacy Center, probably, but boardwalk for McNeese is probably Cowboy Stadium and Bonnet Field. Still,
because I didn't know if it was Joe Miller now.
Well, I'll tell you what. Look, I'm really excited. Another thing, like I said, we're talking more McNeese, but I'm really excited. They've got the whole new press box open for football, so that's going to be a really interesting thing. Like I said, last year they were still building it out, so it was just like sitting around a bunch of drywall walls and whatnot, so now
you were up there a lot.
Now it's all built out. So I'm really excited for, not only do we have a new football coach or the new coach come back, the old coach come back in Matt Viator, but we also have, like I said, new press box and hopefully, the weather's coming too, and hopefully a new team. All right. So,
let's jump in.
It's Always Sunny just came out. So if you like comedies, It's Always Sunny. The new season just started last night. I already watched both episodes. Still going. 17 seasons, man. 17 seasons. All right. So let's talk about Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah, all the stuff we just talked about might last longer than Goldberg Gunther.
God, dude. I mean, that's going to be the finish match, right? That's going to be.
I think that's main event. I think that's
going to be main eventing it, right? So let's wait on that one. So who do you think? Do you think out of these matches open, or do you think we get some random surprise opening?
No, that's a good question.
Because that would be the way to do it. If you're only gonna have 3 matches, and I think last Saturday Night Main Event was only 4. I think it was only 4 last time. So it's only a 2-hour event, right? So it's not a 3-hour show or a random like whatever PLE that lasts an X amount of time. This is network television, NBC, 2-hour time slot. Got to have your commercials and everything. So the question is like, what kind of pageantry do we get to start it open? Maybe. Like maybe Bonnet's right. We do get Roman Reigns coming out right at the start. What if that is coming back out? Everybody's chanting OTC, and then the next thing you know, Paul Heyman walks out. It's just weird, awkward situation. With Roman in the ring and Paul Heyman sitting there like waiting to bring Seth out or something for his match. So I don't know, but where do you start? I think regardless, I think you do start then with Seth and LA Knight. I think that's the match you open with. Where are you at? Who do you think opens to Saturday Night Main Event?
Yeah, I think it is probably Seth and LA. You're never going to get the crowd as hot as they are right there at the top of the show. And these are the two guys that the audience is probably going to be the loudest for, other than maybe Randy. And so when I look at how loud they're going to be for LA Knight and how loud they're going to be for Seth, look, I think this is going to open, but call me crazy. I think that there's a chance that this might dissolve into like a disqualification or no contest, and maybe we get like a 6-man tag that is just randomly thrown together. Maybe
like it evolves into that. That would be
yeah, maybe so. So maybe then it's like
who's
Seth
the 6 man then? Because like I said, if we say Roman's coming, it's Roman.
Well,
LA
we say
Knight.
Sammy. Well, we say Sammy's probably hurt. They say Sammy's out indefinitely. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's Seth, Braun, and Bronson against LA Knight, Jey Uso, and Penta. Maybe that could be something that's thrown together. That's a lot of history or a lot of recent history that's been going on the last few weeks. So look, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my shot. If this is just a straight up match and we do get a finish, I know that Money in the Bank holders typically lose a lot, but I just can't see Seth dropping a loss to LA Knight here. So I'm gonna say Seth if it's a straight up 1-on-1 gets the win, or if it at least gets a finish. But I just wouldn't be surprised if, in a way to fill out some of that time that we're thinking might be a 4th match, maybe instead we get something like a 6-man or a tag team or something like that.
How soon you think until we get Braun turning on Seth? Because it's coming faster than I thought it was going to come. You know,
I think it's happening faster than all of us thought.
Right. It's like we knew it was inevitable. Like this was going to happen in some way, shape, or form. But I mean, could it be as soon as Saturday Night Main Event? I mean,
I really don't think that soon.
Could Braun turn on Seth and that's how LA Knight gets the win? You know,
I think it could. I mean,
is that too soon?
I think it would be too soon for me personally.
Okay. I think it's too soon. Period. I feel like we're just now getting like quote unquote. As some people said, we haven't even named the faction yet. You know, we haven't even named it. You know, and we're already kind of tearing it apart. I'm hoping that's not what this is. I hope they don't in some ways. You know, I hope that this is just showing that these guys can be independent. Because I think I told you, like, how was the first time I saw like Bronson Reed? Like I said, because I'm coming back into it. So I hadn't seen Bronson until he came back into the faction. Like that was the first time I saw him like in a commercial, cut like a promo was in a commercial. You know, not even a promo, but just the first time I see him talk an extended period of time. Because the man is good on the mic. I had no idea. I did not think if you had told me that's what Bronson Reed sounds like.
Yeah, he's I
think he sounds like a dapper British guy, dude. Like
I think he's from either New Zealand or Australia, from one of those two.
I mean, it just sounds like he should be wearing like if the Penguin was Australian, right? If the Batman villain, the Penguin, was Australian, Bronson Reed be playing him. He'd be running the nightclub. Like he'd have other dudes doing his dirty work. So the fact that he's doing dirty work, you know, just that's why I love the idea of these 3 guys just being slightly independent but still cohesive. That's what I'm hoping that was on Raw the other night when Braun grabbed the mic and we all sat there and we watched and like, I mean, Seth, we get it. You got to play it for the camera, but man, like make it any more obvious that like, you know, you're like, what's going on?
Yeah. Now that's, you said something about all 3 feeling independent while also being cohesive. And that's what I feel like is kind of funny about this group is that we all compared it to Evolution when it initially happened. And they are oddly reminiscent of Evolution.
Right.
You look at who Seth is comparatively to who Triple H was at that time. And then you look at who Braun Breaker is right now as compared to who Randy Orton was at that time. Randy Orton and Braun Breaker, Randy Orton's a 3rd generation superstar. Braun Breaker is a 2nd generation superstar. His dad and his uncle were the Steiner brothers. And then you look at where Batista and Bronson Reed were at the time. A lot of untapped potential and the big muscle of the group. And then Paul Heyman is the wise man. He is the Oracle now, who was Ric Flair back in the day. The only difference is that Ric Flair used to actually wrestle back then. So when you look at a lot of the parallels, it's kind of crazy how similar this is going to be. Because let's not forget, and it was just refreshed to me, but the Evolution storyline back then was delayed a really long time because Randy and Batista kept getting hurt. So they got introduced as Evolution members, and then injury after injury slowed it down, like I think half a year or maybe a full year. And so who knows how fast that would have happened if they wouldn't have gotten injured. So Braun Breaker feels a lot like Randy Orton. back then. Randy Orton won the title from Chris Benoit at SummerSlam 2004, I think. And after that happened, Triple H, Batista, and Ric Flair turned on Randy Orton. I feel like maybe we're headed for a very similar situation with Braun Breaker. It could be a situation of Braun Breaker wins the Royal Rumble or wins Elimination Chamber and then decides to go after Seth, and and maybe he just like turns on Seth and spears him or something, and that's how he chooses to go after him. But yeah, man, I feel like the similarities are there, and I feel like this would be too soon. I feel like this calendar year would be too soon.
I mean, the only problem
like you
is
got to let it marinate a little bit.
They're not really setting either the guys up for anything besides being like Seth's goons right now, right? Like we don't have, you know, any drama with Dom. Now, I mean, I know Dom's hurt right now, but that's all Dom and AJ right now. You know, it's like we're not moving in for the mid card titles, I guess. You know, it seems like everybody.
I'll let you finish in a sec, but I want to say something about that because you bring up a good point about Dom and AJ. I think that Dom's going to drop that to AJ pretty soon. And so then we have a baby face running around with that, and that'll give them now a shot to go after the target to go after.
I think that's the thing is right now we don't really have a destination for these guys besides just, like I said, it's just Captain America Civil War right now. You know, like I said, you've got the two sides of like the four top guys on each, on the good, the bad, with Punk and Jay and Sammy and the three, whatever we're going to call this faction. And they just seem to just beat the crap out of each other back and forth, bringing Penta in there now. You know, he's part of it a little bit too, you know. That's like bringing Spider-Man when Iron Man went and got Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
But yeah, so anyways, all right, so this match, I think that all goes down to say we have no idea about this match, right? Besides, I mean, it's going to be good. And I'm giving it to LA Knight. I feel like Knight wins. I feel like he has to win. As you said, the Money in the Bank guy tends to lose a lot, right? I don't like how weak they're making the faction seem in some ways. Like the faction seems to never win, but then they beat the crap out of you after the match. You know what I mean? Or there's a DQ and then they beat the crap out of you, whatever it is, you know? So, I mean, not that heels tend to get clean wins often, but I want a clean win eventually, you know, for one of them. I don't care who, you know, Bronson, you know, Seth, whoever. But it's like, like right now, I'm like getting to the point. It's like, well, could Seth beat anybody? Because it seems like he can't beat anybody without.
I get where you're coming from too, and I'm hoping that the wins that they do get are like the big wins at big PLEs. You know, like I'm sure that Braun and Bronson are going to have some sort of high profile match at SummerSlam or something like that. I'm hoping by that point maybe they just go after the tag titles together and just hold those for a minute.
That'd be interesting, those guys tagging together.
Yeah, and imagine if Seth cashes in at SummerSlam and takes the title off of either Cena/Cody or Gunther/ whoever he's defending against, or Goldberg, whoever wins that match, because
Seth Goldberg would be such a weird match.
I want them to just like right whenever Seth hands over the title and the ref turns his back, I want Seth to just like kick Goldberg straight in the nuts, dude. Just like kick him right away, get that upper hand, and then Goldberg says he's good and ring the bell. He goes for the spear. Seth hits the pedigree out of it, stomps him like 3 times, and the match is over in like a minute and a half.
I'd be fine with that.
Goldberg.
Hey, look,
bye.
I would be fine with tonight, Seth losing to LA Knight, Gunther somehow losing to Goldberg, and then Seth cashing in on Goldberg and walking out as champion tonight anyways. You know what I mean?
Hey, I don't hate that.
You know, so
that would make Saturday night's main event feel crazy important.
It would, because think about it. I mean, Seth just went down, and then, like you said, he comes out afterwards, and Goldberg has just won Atlanta. Everybody's going nuts. Goldberg's champ. Gunther's sitting like, how the hell did that happen?
Spear from Braun Breaker, tsunami from Bronson Reed, and then Seth just comes in with the briefcase with Paul. Man, I want to see it.
Oh, I want to see it. And then you're taking poor Goldberg out on a stretcher, probably. I don't know if he could take
good.
I don't know if he could take a tsunami. I don't know if he could take a tsunami, man.
Well, give him 5. Seth got 6.
But you've got Seth winning.
I do.
But you have Seth winning by quote unquote shenanigans.
If, like I said, if it's a if it's allowed to go to an actual finish and
let's say it's not going to some crazy 6-on-6. It doesn't evolve in anything,
right?
But let's say like there could be interference.
Yeah,
so,
I think there will definitely be interference.
Yeah, there's definitely probably interference, right? So
I think so.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, so you've got you. All right, so we're already split. We're already
good.
Split.
I love it. I love it.
Look,
actually,
this card, I really have no idea for this entire card. Like, let's go next. Let's go to the Scottish Warrior. You know, let's do it. and RKO, baby.
Scottish Psychopath, Drew McIntyre, and Randy Orton, the Viper, going one-on-one. Look, dude, I think this is going to be fun. I'm surprised Drew is back this early.
Well, I mean, this is going to be fun. It kind of came out of nowhere, but I don't care because both these guys put on a show, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, like, dude, and Orton looks like, I mean, since he's been back, he looks like he's just, I don't know, he like he's just young again. You know, he's moving so fluidly. You wouldn't think that he'd been in the business for like 20 plus years, you know? So, man, I don't know, dude. This, like I said, yet another one. I'm not entirely sure because neither of them really need the win, right? But neither of them, I mean, you're gonna have Drew come back and lose on Saturday main event, though. That's my one hang up. That's the only reason I'm kind of thinking it's going to be Drew is because you don't have Drew come back to lose. And I think Drew needs a win. Maybe he does need a win because I feel like after the Damian Priest thing, after the Seth and the CM Punk thing before that, and Damian still a bit before that, technically, Drew had a win in a while, technically, right? Like not like a big, you know, to do win. So is this Drew McIntyre? Am I crazy? Am I talking myself into Drew McIntyre for this one?
No, I think this is going to be the first one we agree on. I think I've got Drew as well. It's a tough call, but I do think when I measure them up next to each other, I think Drew just needs to win more.
Right.
Randy is not hurt by a loss from Drew McIntyre. So
no, and if nothing else, it just sets up like, I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, you could run this match back at SummerSlam, you know? I mean, you could easily like take this time and then build it all up between now and SummerSlam and run it right back in SummerSlam, and I wouldn't be upset. So
yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that maybe because honestly, I don't really know what you do with these guys between SummerSlam.
Well, right.
If the idea for them is not to face each other at SummerSlam again,
right? You know, because you've got Cody and Cena basically paired up. You've got whatever's going on, like I said, we talking about with Seth Rollins and everybody else, and if not. You know, you've got CM Punk and Jay who are like kind of, if I'm not going to do the Seth Rollins thing, maybe I'm over here, you know, taking care of the other champions as in Gunther and Cena, if it's not Cody, you know, so, and then if Roman comes back, Roman's not worried about Randy or Drew, you know, that's the least of his concerns, you know, so yeah, these guys are kind of destined for each other right now in some ways, you know?
I just wonder where, you mentioned CM Punk, I wonder where he's going for SummerSlam. We still don't really have a direction there. Unless, well, I actually think of something they could do, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But we're both going with Drew here. And yeah, I think Drew just needs to win more. I think it's going to be a really fun match, though. I think the audience is going to be crazy for Randy Orton. They've just been nuts for him lately.
Oh, dude, yeah. No, I mean, look, like I said, since Randy's been back, he's been on a tear, you know, and he's also playing face right now. You know, so it's that two sides, you know, like I said, it's been interesting, like as we mentioned, watching all the Cena things, but everybody's been like echoing Cena to him from earlier things. Like I said, we had Randy talking about family to Cena and how important, you know, this is. Like we had, you know, the reverse CM Punk, obviously, you know, with the mic bomb and everything else. So, you know, it's been interesting to see this version of Orton and how long are we going to get it and when's it going to snap? Because you know the Viper ain't staying like this forever. Maybe we got to see Cody go heel first because we've already got that a little bit, right? So maybe Cody goes heel and then Randy goes heel to stop Cody heel. I don't know. But
I was going to say, I think that WWE has a very unique situation on their hands where everyone kind of wanted Randy to be the one to turn heel to set up the Randy and Cody feud. But I think they have a really unique situation on their hands where Randy Orton is maybe the most cheered guy on your entire roster 20 plus years in, you know, and he's still maybe got another 5 years left in him if he really wanted to. And on the flip side, I think you've got the audience really clamoring for a Cody heel turn at this point. I think that his run as a uber mega babyface, while he is still selling some merch, the people that are paying for tickets to go in person are booing him, are booing Cody. They're over
waiting.
The act.
They're all waiting, dude.
That's it. And so what better way to strike while the iron is hot than to create a new super mega heel in Cody Rhodes? Because I know, Matt, you haven't watched it, but his stuff outside of WWE, he has proven that he can be a mega heel. He has done some very bad things outside of this company in terms of his role.
Stardust? What was it?
Nah, Stardust is a different story. We'll talk about Stardust later. No, but I think they're in a really unique situation where a Cody turn on Randy can lead to automatically catapulting Cody as your number one heel and elevating Randy even higher as your number one babyface. And then imagine the get back whenever Randy finally gets when Cody finally gets his comeuppance from Randy. We've been teasing that punt kick for the longest time, and people are already saying like, oh, just hit it already. I think we might not see Randy hit that till WrestleMania, and it might be on Cody whenever they, I think, inevitably face each other at WrestleMania 42.
Wait till Cody figures out how to do the flash kick.
The flash kick? What's that?
Yeah, from Street Fighter. He's playing Guile. The Guile kick where he does the backflip and he kicks you?
You'll have to find a little edit for me, so I'll throw it in the video.
I mean, are you not a Street Fighter kid at all? I guess that's before your time.
Oh, it was a little bit before my time.
Dude, I used to sit there at a machine and quarters would line up and I beat the crap out of people with Chun-Li. I just beat the ever living crap out of every. That's how I found out what the word cocky meant. Because people are like, "Oh, you're a cocky little shit." I'm like, yeah.
Yep, that's me. That's me. Even when we played like fighting games on our systems at home, my mom always preferred Killer Instinct or Tekken.
Well,
so those were the ones.
Tekken was the good whatever you say. Went Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat to Tekken for me. I mean, yeah, Killer Instinct, and there was like a couple other ones that tried to fit in there. But
I like Soul Calibur a lot. Soul Calibur was really fun.
Yeah, that was one that popped in. That was using the swords. There's one that used the swords before, and I forgot what it was called. It was just a bunch of like.
Sure.
Anyway.
Yeah. So those fighting games, bro.
But Cody is Guile. Like, what great casting like that. But that's one thing I'm going to say. Like, whenever that movie's projected to come out, Cody's got to be babyface again. So just keep that in mind. Whenever, and I bet you Roman's heel by that point. So when the movie's dropping,
I feel like Roman is kind of elevated past the point of babyface or heel.
I mean, I feel like his character he's playing is kind of 50-50. He's playing Akuma apparently, and that's
he's a tweener. He's a
tweener. Yeah, Akuma's kind of a tweener. He's like the mentor that you piss off, and he beats the crap out of you. Yeah. So, but dude, I don't know. Like when I saw that, I'm like, Cody Rhodes is Guile, and then I saw Boss Logic, who if you don't follow Boss Logic on Facebook or Instagram and you like comics, Boss Logic is always throwing down some cool artistic whatever things with whatever's going on. And he threw down a Cody Rhodes Guile, and I was like, yeah,
nice.
Get it. Get it.
I saw 50 Cent was cast for someone as well.
He's probably going to be Balrog, which is the boxer.
Yeah, that's him. Yep, that's him.
Which will be perfect. 50's great. 50 can act. People don't know that 50 can act.
Yeah, 50 can act. He can. All right. Well, let's talk about this main event, dude. Let's talk about where we're headed. Because
I think I gave the best prediction saying that, Goldberg wins, Seth comes out, cashes in, because I don't know what you do with this, man. Like, I've been wondering this. Okay, tell me, because when Goldberg was popular was when I was really out of it, like I knew who he was, but like, it was also like the time, not that like steroids haven't always been kind of in some way associated with wrestling, but it felt like he was also the time because Cena's huge, Batista's huge, Brock Lesnar was huge or is huge, and Goldberg was huge. So it also felt like, and then Kurt Angle, little Kurt Angle, who was the whatever Olympic wrestler, he's got traps that are bigger than his head,
Yeah.
So anyways, that's when dudes started getting huge and whatnot. So, but I also didn't know that Goldberg was WCW to start, right? I didn't know that he had some crazy undefeated streak. I didn't know that.
Yep.
So I learned a bunch about Goldberg.
170 something and 0 or something like that.
So, I mean, I didn't realize. So I've got to ask you as somebody because you grew up, Goldberg's like, he was wrestling when you started watching probably, right? Was he there but like when you started?
That was my stepdad's favorite wrestler.
That's what I'm saying. There we go.
My stepdad for WCW loved Goldberg, and then for WWE it was Undertaker. Those were his two.
All right. So tell me. So tell me. Well, that's what I'm saying. So tell me how this match, like, does the Goldberg comeback to me is like blah. I feel like Gunther was in that one promo where he's like, "Why am I scared? I'm next."
Yeah.
I feel like I'm Gunther. Like I just like I'm doing this because you're making me. So tell me, as somebody who's he's nothing else, whose stepfather was a huge Goldberg fan. Tell me the appeal here. Tell me what you're. Tell me, are you excited? Is this a match that you want to see?
I mean, look, I think that the difference that this Goldberg match has between all the other ones we've had since he's come back, at least since his matches have been bad because there was a little stretch where his first few matches were okay. They were pretty good. They served their purpose. They were fast. They were to the point, and they did what they had to do. But these last few years, the matches have been clunky, and he's hurt people. He dropped Undertaker on his head in Saudi Arabia. And so it's like, I think that the difference between this match, though, is that he's gone into it acknowledging that this is it. Like, no more after this. If I win as champion, I'm retiring as champion. If I lose, then I retire as a loser. Like, it is what it is. And so I think that has people a lot more excited, because it's not like, okay, are you going to be in further storylines, or is just like a one-off thing that doesn't make sense in 6 months from now or whatever? It's like, okay, we have a definitive answer. He is gone, whether he wins or loses. So I think it's got a lot more people excited, actually, about this match, because it's the last time we're going to see the spectacle of Goldberg. Nobody's expecting it to be a 5-star match.
Do you think it's really the last time? Like, if he wins, do you think he retires?
That's it.
Do you think that's it? I mean, you don't think, like,
but if he wins,
brings him back for Raw on Monday just to lose again, I mean, or something,
I mean, I wouldn't be terribly surprised, maybe, if they did something like that. But I think that if he does win, I just like your cash-in option a lot more now. I think that's a really good option. But I'm also married to the idea of the fact that maybe Seth might be cashing in on the winner of Cody and Cena.
That's more where my brain's been at. Like, I don't feel like he cashes in on the quote unquote SmackDown, or yes, it's the Raw side, right? I mean, Gunther's the Raw champion, right? Technically.
Well, so there's a big talk about doing a shift after SummerSlam. That's not going to be like a draft. They're just going to they might do a little segment where backstage Pierce and Aldis just like handshake and agree to a trade. Yeah, something like that. So a lot of the rumors swirling around is that maybe Seth cashes in on the winner of Cody and Cena and at SummerSlam. So I'll just tell you who I think that Gunther is going to retain. I think that I love your cash-in idea, but my gut just tells me Gunther is going to retain and send Goldberg off.
If Gunther retains, what are the chances you think that Seth might cash in on him?
I don't think he cashes in on Gunther.
Right, because we're more on the Cody. Yeah.
Here's my thing, though. The one thing that's tripping me up. Who's the one guy that outside of Cody and Cena that Seth would more than likely want to cash in on? Can you think?
I mean,
CM Punk.
He wouldn't want Punk to have it. His whole goal is never to let Punk have
That's what I'm saying. So what if Gunther retains? And then what if CM Punk, who said he was going to shoot his shot at Gunther, what if he shoots his shot at Gunther and then we get CM Punk versus Gunther at SummerSlam? And what if what we think might happen with Seth on the WWE title side, what if that happens to Punk instead? What if we get a repeat of WrestleMania last year and Punk wins it for like 5 minutes? Seth comes in, his goons attack Punk, they take the title off of Punk, and he keeps his promise to not let Punk keep a championship.
He don't even let Punk win it for 5 minutes. I don't mind that idea, but he doesn't even let Punk win it for 5 minutes. He comes in there when Punk's at 2 and smashes him in the head with the briefcase when it's at 2 and cashes in, and Punk doesn't get it.
Punk's going for the pin, and then Seth just comes in and stomps him. And
that's what I'm saying. Something like that. Yeah, like you said, he does not let him get that 5 minutes. It might be like, there's no way Gunther is out cold. Gunther, all Punk has to do is get on stage, goes Rollins. And no, he doesn't let him even have the 5 minutes. I don't think, not because that means that he failed. If Punk wins a championship on any level, even if it's for 5 minutes, Seth has failed.
Right, sure. But what better way to get the conniving heel to be even more conniving than to say, yeah, I know he won it technically, but who's got it now? So technically I didn't fail.
That would be the
and maybe that does even more like a headbutting between Braun and Seth. Braun's like, yeah, you got it, but he did win it and he could win it again. And maybe that starts like the little headbutt. We get some tension between them. So I don't know.
Triple H,
there's so many possibilities.
Are you paying attention, Paul?
Are you?
Are you paying attention? Because look, need to keep this going, my man.
Yeah, we look, dude. I think it's going to be a fun show, even if it is just these 3 matches, because I think some stuff could break out. And
I mean, it is only a
2-hour show.
There's got to be something. There's got to be some great promo that we're not. Like I said, maybe that's why. I mean, the only reason I'd be out with Bonnet on Roman coming back is because there's only 3 matches, and you got to fill some time. You know, and Roman coming back would be huge. Like that would just cascade.
His entrance alone would take 20 minutes.
Yeah, it would cascade. So I don't know. But I am also taking Gunther, but if it's not come through, I want my cash in to happen. I just, I want the match to be good. I'm not excited for it. Oh,
I have a prediction for the last match that we might get added to this card.
Okay.
I think we're gonna get Ron Killings and Aleister Black added to the card. They've been beefing lately, and Aleister Black, whatever. So sorry, it just hit me because I'm thinking like, man, who else could be on this card that would make sense? And Aleister and Ron Killings.
And Black's on SmackDown, perfect. Right? Like he's a SmackDown guy, right?
So yeah, they're both SmackDown.
They can do that on SmackDown Friday. They could set that up. That could be a thing. If nothing else, I can see Aleister Black on the card against somebody because I think
Aleister Black knocked out R-Truth last.
I mean, where's Carmelo and The Miz at right now?
I don't think to be fair, I've been slacking on my SmackDown. I've been watching highlights the last few weeks, but I don't think we've seen much of them outside of like backstage.
I know The Miz, I think, has been out. So yeah.
Oh yeah, he's filming American Gladiators. They're rebooting it.
Okay, yeah. So
he's the host, I think.
So I mean, I can see Carmelo Hayes as well against Aleister Black, but I can see Aleister Black getting a match added if they're going to add a match. I can see that happening on SmackDown tomorrow night.
I think Aleister will have a match on SmackDown. Ron Killings will run in and cost him the match, or maybe not cost him the match, but get a disqualification, and they're just going to brawl. And then maybe they'll brawl all the way backstage, and then they'll finally get them broken up, and Aldis will make the match official for tomorrow night at Saturday night's main event, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so that's my prediction.
All right, 3 matches, man. That's it. Just only 3 matches right now. Maybe 4, maybe 5. Who knows? But it's only a 2-hour show. Last Saturday night main event until December. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, so last one until December, but it should be good, leading us into SummerSlam later, and then we got Evolution to talk about after this. So we'll get back.
Yeah.
Go check out.
A lot of wrestling this weekend. You got SmackDown on Friday. You got Saturday night's main event, but you also have NXT coming up this weekend for Great American Bash, I think it is, and then you have AEW is doing one of their biggest shows. I think it's All In or All Out. I can't remember the exact name. I don't watch AEW, forgive me. And then, like you said, Evolution coming up on Sunday. Huge weekend of wrestling.
And then Monday Night Raw. So.
Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Rollins. All right.
Where we might have a new World Heavyweight Champion. We'll have to wait and see. All right, speaking of wait and see, you'll have to wait and see what is up next for us with our Evolution predictions, because that'll be coming up next. You'll be seeing that soon. So, Matt, you got anything else to say before we get out of here and head into our Evolution stuff?
No, man, I just, like I said, only 3 matches, but they could all 3 be good, and we could be talking about the Saturday main event, Hardcore, on Monday.
Yeah, we could. That Thunder's really rolling in. Hey, Thunder up, baby. NBA champions, by the way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, hey, look, we're out of here. We'll be back with Evolution predictions soon. Until then, we're out.